So let's start with your name and your role at the dealership.
So my name is Nicole Serwatuk, and my current role is the HR manager. But I do many different things and wear many different hats.
Okay, great. So how did you have you RV'd before as a kid? What was your first experience with RVs?
Okay, so since I've actually been born, my parents have always had a park model at a campground up in Shirkston Shores. Not too sure if you're familiar with that, but they've had one there my entire life. But you don't really think of park models so much as camping as you do to see campers and motorhomes, etc. So even though I got the camping lifestyle and the experience of being able to go to the beach and just being outside all the time, I really didn't get to really see all that the industry offers until I started here at Sicard's, when I was completely involved with every aspect of the industry. And that's where my love for it truly grew. I mean, as a kid, I camped a few times, but nothing like what camping is today. So it's definitely changed my opinion and has definitely grown so much in these last 5 years since being here. So I guess I've always been in it, not knowing.
Yeah, and especially, well, a
Mhm.
park model is just slightly different from your average trailers
Yeah,
where people move it from place to place. You
exactly.
went to
Exactly.
where you camped.
Yeah.
So
hmm hmm
yeah. So do you want to talk about a little bit about working with and managing people, like that
Yeah,
aspect?
for sure. So when I first started here, I was actually one of their first HR managers. Sicard RV had just grown so much. So stepping into the role, I was immediately hit with creating policies, meeting with individuals, taking over the employee relations full side of things. And as I grew within that, so did my responsibilities. So I started managing larger projects. We created a new payroll system. I managed that entire project. I started getting involved with processes within the business. So that could be service processes, parts processes, managing that, working directly with other team managers on their teams, because we had hired new managers throughout the entire business. So, and fortunately I was the first one, so I got to build my connection with the new managers as they joined and kind of helped them grow with their team and help them manage their department and create all different types of avenues. However, I have to say I'm so incredibly fortunate to have been able to work so closely with Blair Sicard, because he is the one who introduced me to absolutely everything and gave me the opportunity to work on so many different projects and get me involved. And I think he just recognized my willingness to learn and take on more projects, that he thought, perfect, I'm going to give it to her. So I like the Sicard family has been because they're present every day. We have Terry, Roger, and Blair here every day, that working closely with them has provided so many more opportunities that I don't think I would have had if I didn't have them as my mentors, truly. And over the last few years, as I mentioned, my management and leadership within the industry, I've taken on doing RV shows. I've recently taken on helping my marketing manager went on mat leave. So that meant someone gets to delegate all the management of marketing. So it came onto my shoulders. So I took that on completely. She's back now. However, she now reports to me for all the marketing decisions. And so I've taken that on. We created a new we developed a new CRM. We're using a CDK Lightspeed now. We transitioned from IDS. So that full project was on my shoulders, and we went live just before COVID. So we went
Oh,
live with CDK
good
in
timing.
January. Oh, perfect timing. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
the training was perfect. So
yeah.
that was a huge project, and honestly, we are still learning how to completely use the system because we lost it for almost a year, right? So my management within the industry has been able to touch sales, parts, service, employee relations, processes, policies, everything. And I honestly am very fortunate to have had this opportunity to do that, because I don't think without the guidance from Blair, I wouldn't have had it. So yeah. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, that sounds like you've been giving a lot of great opportunities.
I have.
So
And
how has COVID changed the way you work and also for others in the dealership?
well, during COVID, so I mean, as COVID is known to be HR's biggest nightmare to have ever happened because we've had to completely change the way we operate and also changing completely how businesses operate. So, and we're going in blind. So we went in blind to what are we going to do for our employees? How are they going to continue working? How are we going to get people to still work? And how are we going to keep them safe? So when COVID first happened, within a couple of days, we had a number of policies out and how we were going to make different and how we're going to make sure that our employees can work. So fortunately, because we went live with CDK, it's a cloud-based system. So it was very seamless to allow them to work from home. So anybody that we allowed that could work from home, we had them work from home. We limited our technicians because we had to, again, redesign how they were working because they couldn't work closely. We didn't know what we were working with. So we limited that, but then we came up with different processes to make other solutions work. So we could bring back our parts team because we created contact-free parts purchasing and pickup. We started doing video demonstrations of units and also doing contact free. So if we allowed one person, we said, if you guys want to film it for your family, feel free, so that we could limit the people that were there. We also purchased a number of, I don't know how to do, it's like I don't want to call it like an aerosol can, but it's similar to that where we sanitized every single unit as they came to our lot. And then again, before they left, so that not only was it safe for our employees, but it was also safe for the customers picking it up. So we had to redesign every single aspect of the business, truly. Sales was operating via telephone and by appointment only, selling units like they've never sold before. I mean, I've had some of my salespeople have been here for a long time and are a different generation. So we had to convince them to use FaceTime to do sales or, anything that sending photos. So that was a bit of a struggle at first, but everybody seemed to just kind of fall in line. And as you know, the RV industry was booming for COVID. So we're fortunate that we kept everybody busy as much as possible, but we're still trying to make some adjustments of how we're continue with the whole electronic focus and how we're operating now. So some procedures we implemented, we kept, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, fortunately able to make a lot of that happen in a short period of time, but also it sounded just very positive for everybody because what you tried to do to keep everybody, in place and busy as much as you could.
Yeah, and I have to say, we ran so well and we're so safe. We did not have a single COVID outbreak here. Until 2021 when things started opening up and people outside started again, but we never, to this day, I'm going to knock on wood while I'm here, we never had a COVID outbreak here. We never had any concern that it was being passed around or anything. We were very lucky.
Yeah, well, all the procedures in place, so that definitely helped.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how is as you know, RV, well, you being a female, like how is the male-female ratio in the dealership?
Our actually female-male ratio is relatively balanced, but in certain roles. So as an example, all my technicians are male, my mechanics are male, my carpenters are male. I don't see very many females present in the service sector in those positions. We do have a number of females within the administrative side. It has increased, truthfully, since I've been here. That number has increased. I don't know if it's because our employee numbers has also increased, but we're starting to see more of a balance. But I still see it's relatively limited to the administrative side of each business of the industry. Unfortunately, I'd like to see more females within the service sector. But we're just not there yet, I don't think.
Have you been actively recruiting for female?
Yes, we actually had a few years ago, we actually hired a female technician. Unfortunately, she didn't work out, but we did have one, which I was so excited about. But it's just not really a role where I ever get female applicants. I would love if I had a female applicant, even if she had little to no experience, I'm taking a chance on her. Oh,
Oh,
can you hear me?
yeah, I think we're back. We just stalled for a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna say the RV industry for women is, I think, on the incline a little bit, but as you know, going to events, you still see such a major divide. I think so. When I went to Vegas these last 2 years, sorry, in 2019 and in 2021 for the top 50 award, every person, every dealership who had people go up, some of them did have some females with them, but primarily it was male dominated. And there was nothing more satisfying than Blair would always send myself and another female coworker, and we were the only two that would go up and accept the awards, just to showcase that we're here and we're ready to take over the industry. Pretty much,
yeah,
it was.
That's great.
Yeah, it is such a great feeling to be just two strong women up there in a sea of men.
Yeah, it's, I mean, as you say, the industry, like everybody's working on it. So what can we do as an industry to try and make it more appealing to other women? You know, it
I
doesn't
think,
matter whether it be service parts, I mean, in all
yeah,
aspects of the business.
I I think it truly is just the inclusiveness of the industry. I think as the industry is so populated with an older generation currently, and it was a different way of operating, unfortunately. And I think how the world in general has started to change. I'm recognizing an increase of where the women are, and I think as long as we have strong women in power or in positions to encourage females, they'll see that opportunity. And I think that that's what needs to be showcased more, is the women within the industry, period. I think that as if more women see a transparency of having more women in the industry, you're more likely to pull in more interest. And I think that we're starting on that track. I think that even, as receiving the award that I did is so amazing, not just for myself as a person, but for being a female winning a leadership award within the RV industry, period, is such a huge achievement. Yeah, because I was looking at, I used to have the magazine in here, is the Dealer of the Year award that, I can't remember the gentleman's name that won. And that was a perfect example of how we still see a front-facing industry photo of a male winning an award. And just to now be a female winning it and getting the opportunity of speaking with you about this type of article is just showing that, no, we're here too, and we're winning things just as much as the men are.
Yeah, having good role models certainly
Yeah,
makes, just for other women, if they're considering or if they're, just
exactly.
afraid to make a change. And I think this would be a great
Exactly.
inspiration.
Exactly. I mean, we just brought on a new finance team member, female. And, when they come, a lot of people say they never consider the RV industry because they come from the automotive. They say they don't realize how similar but better the RV industry is compared to the automotive. You sell a lifestyle, you don't sell a product necessarily, right? And all I've heard from people that we've brought on from the car industry is that they will never go back. They love the RV industry. They're never leaving. So once they're here, we can't get rid of them, which is a good thing.
Yeah, well, there's just such diversity in every aspect, the product you sell, how you sell, the people you're in touch with, and RVs, it's not a necessity. But
Exactly.
at the same time, everybody needs to vacation. Everybody needs to spend family time outdoors. So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So what do you think the future holds for the RV industry?
I I don't see this RV industry slowing down anytime soon. In regards to the future of the products we'll sell, I think that we've seen a big turn for the eco-friendly side of RVing. We see turns for the going green, in my opinion. I mean, we sell so many new parts where we have electric bikes and we have what is it?
Solar panels.
Solar panels, yeah. You know, we have it all. We have people wondering how can they use their unit without having to plug in, or you know, all these different solutions that are now being provided. So I see the RV industry going much more green, and I also see that the industry only growing. I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. And between you and I see the women taking over. I do. I see us doing it. So that's where I like to see us in the next 5 to 10 years.
And beyond. Yeah.
And far beyond that.
Yeah, beyond. Well, you lead the way down there.
If you lead it over there.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all I have for now. And well, I think that would make a good, you touched on so many points and just how people could get involved and just yeah.
Yeah, when I had said I did a little speech. I don't know if you heard about it when I received the award, and I said when I went up there, I said, I still remember the first day I went in for my interview with Blair Sicard, and I said to myself, Nicole, you hate camping. What are you doing here? And and I said, here I am 5 years later, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I love it. And because it educated me of what I thought camping was in a tent, being cold, being wet, compared to the RV industry where you have air conditioning, you have a kitchen, you have a comfortable bed, you have and you're outside the whole time.
It's nothing that you thought it was.
It's not. It is not. And it's, it's just so funny to see how far I've grown. I mean, I know more makes and models than I care to have ever learned, and I know them all. You know, it's just to see how far I've come in 5 years is just, it's very interesting to see, for sure.
Yeah. So have you gone camping in the last 5 years?
Yes, actually I have. I have, and you know what? It's a different world.
In comfort.
Yeah, in comfort. I don't have to worry about my air mattress being on the ground and flat when I wake up and bugs everywhere. So
yeah, that's not how we do it. So.
No, it is not how we do it. So yeah. I don't see myself going anywhere anytime soon, and I just think you'll see much more of me.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, great. Well, thank you for your time.